Hi, I'm Eli Prinsen from hybridvocaltechnique.com. Today's video is on strength and balance, okay? In this particular instance, I'm talking about with the belting, with the chest register, the belt register, the real voice, not extending the range with mix or middle voice, which is fantastic, and that's a whole nother topic. But this video is going to be strength and balance for the real voice, the belting voice, okay? So for those of you who don't know what that means instead of me, if I was gonna hit this note right here, which is a B4, and I have a if I was classified as a classical singer, I'd be a baritone, which this is not really a note that we would be singing. Okay, this is in the tenor range. So a B4 or a C5, most people would use head voice, okay, which I would too in certain certain times or whatever. But chest voice or belting, it would require a lot more power, okay, a lot more strength, a lot more effort. So that note right there, which would be very easy to produce, mom, in head voice or middle voice, would be a lot harder to do like this. Okay. Now, the second one was me supporting with a lot of support, okay? A lot of different things going on. The voice is thinned out, the resonance of the voice is placed higher, even though it's still staying in the same register, okay? It took a lot of training for me to be able to do that, okay, with this kind of a voice. But I'm sure you've heard from the multitude of videos on YouTube about people talking about shouting and pulling chest and splatting and ruining voices, and it's usually coming from the other side of the vocal training community, or the side that only likes to use head voice past the F or the G, okay? And that's all good and dandy. Like I said, it just depends on what type of singing you're doing, the sound that you're going for. If you want more of a fluid sound, yeah, and you're doing stuff like that, you would want to have use head voice up in that middle high kind of a area, okay, instead of sounding like a rock guy. Yeah, okay. So it just depends. It depends on what you're looking for. Now, strength and balance, okay. Most people will try to tell you, oh, well, if you belt, you're going to be yelling. It's going to be loud the whole time. Nope, it's not true. It is if you don't tame the notes as you gain the notes, okay? What I mean by that is, with most guys with a voice like mine or a little lower, they usually, if they are belting in the first place, they usually run out of rope around F sharp or G sharp. And that's when they, if they've been at it for a while even, okay? And that's where I was when I first started training my voice. So this note right here usually is as high as guys can go with a lower voice type. So that's right in here. So right here. Yay! But they would be maybe not even making that note or able to hit that note. It might be crackling. And they're struggling to hit that note, and they certainly can't take that register any higher, so then they would mix, bridge, and go into head voice, okay? But you can extend that without shouting or without splatting and going wide, okay? That's part of the way to get there, is to not do that, okay? So you won't get that result. So taming these notes, okay? Now, for someone with my voice type, being more of a baritone, taking the true voice up to C or C sharp or D is going to be pretty tough to do in the true belt without giving it some volume, okay? So scientific method tells us, yes, you can increase the chest register with volume as long as you keep the formula correct and healthy, okay? But after that, you should be actively working to mellow out those notes underneath that you've gained. So once you pass that G, or you get the G, so that note that used to be super loud, not super loud for me anymore. It's more under my control. Okay? Used to be full volume to hit the G. Okay? But you have to work on balancing that volume and that sound pressure as you gain the range. Okay? So actively think about that as you train your voice. Okay? So I have ways of doing this, just like if you're singing classic rock and metal and you wish you could, you have my kind of voice or deeper, and you wish you could hit that high C and be able to belt it, or even a high D. Yeah! Okay, and I probably exploded the microphone, right? But it's possible to do. It's like things that people tell you you shouldn't do or you're unable to do. You can do it if you know how, right? Of course, that same note, yeah, you could do with head voice if you chose to. It wouldn't sound as powerful. It'd be a heck of a lot easier, but there's a time and a place for everything. So that's really when I kind of started blending techniques and training that I had done growing up. I came up with hybrid vocal technique years ago. When people were saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, this is right, this is wrong. And I said, well, why don't we put them together? And people are more open to that now. But that's where it all started. Okay, so strength and balance. We have the voice. And F doesn't have to be full volume. Not anymore, right? It's a combination of different things going on there. The shape of your voice, vowel modification, placement, support, okay? Split vowel modification. All of this is covered in my program. I sell a program, by the way, at hybridvocaltechnique.com. It's called the Master Series Ultimate Vocal Training Program 2.0. And I teach everything under the sun about training your voice, extending every register, not just the middle voice, not just the mixed voice, but the belt voice if you choose to put in the time and the effort and the work that it takes to extend that. The payoff is huge, and the strength of your voice is huge. But I cover everything in there, from the lowest of the low notes, from the fry, all the way up to the whistle voice. Everything is included, okay? So you might want to check that out, hybridvocaltechnique.com. And that does it for today's video, and I will talk at you later. Bye.